TinaGale here with my Scrappy Ideas, and I'm so excited today to be joining the Creative Scrappers design team. So this is going to be the first sketch that I'm working with right here, and we're pairing up with Jillibean Soup, and there are some prizes to be won. So if you'd like to play along, create a layout with this sketch and tag it on social media. Just post it Facebook, Instagram, anything you want, and tag it with Creating with Sketches. And you can be up for a prize from Jillibean Soup, some great product. So when I got the sketch and I knew we were pairing with Jillibean Soup, one of my favorite collections is the Red Raspberry collection here. And I knew all I had was some scraps, but I had looked at the sketch and thought, well, it's just some, it's pieced together other than this big background here. So I was wondering, could I kind of finish off that collection, because I knew that I wanted to. So I literally pulled out my scraps, and this layout is made from scraps. So I have everything pre-cut already. This is what I had left from the Red Raspberry. For that big piece back here, I went to my stash, and this is some old crate paper. It says the Paper Doll Collection. So I cut it. So let me show you what I have here. So like I said, these strips here were just some small little scraps that I had, and this was the length this one was, so I just cut the stripe to the same length to make up this background here. This is the crepe paper piece that I cut, and then I went for my other scraps and cut one of the tags. And then I wanted a little bit of this aqua color, this turquoise blue, and so this is where I pulled out this Dear Lizzie Lucky Charm, and I cut one of the tags. And I had some butterflies that were from Jillibean Soup. This is another older product from my stash, these corrugated shapes, and so there was butterflies and a sun and some clouds, and so I pulled out the butterflies, and then I went and got my Martha Stewart butterfly punch, because I knew I wanted some smaller ones, and just punched out of my scraps and some more out of this blue paper that I got. Then I also have the sticker sheet left from the Red Raspberry collection, so I'm hoping to kind of pull that in. So this is what I've got going. Like I said, all from scraps. I just cut it to the dimensions that I had out of my scraps, put it together. I've got a couple of photos, and I wanted to go ahead and matte those. So again, I went through my scrap bin and found some pink to matte those, and I am ready to go. So this should go together really quick. I'm going to go ahead and ink all of the edges of my paper, and this time I'm going for a lighter brown. So this is the tea dye, and I'm just going to ink around all of the edges. Something that I really enjoy doing. I just think it adds just a little bit of pop to your layout and dimension. Then when I get the background put on here, I'm going to take it to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew around, let's get rid of these photos. I'm going to sew around the two pattern papers here, I believe. And I'm going to do that to this background piece so that I'm not sewing through like 4 layers of patterned paper. And then I'm probably going to take it, put it onto this background, and then sew around that piece as well on my background. So I'll be sure to come back in and show you whether I did that. So for now, I'm just going to ink all of these, and then I'll be back after I have sewed on the layout. Okay, so I've adhered these 2 pieces to the background. I took it to my sewing machine and did the zigzag stitch, and then I adhered this whole piece to my craft cardstock and did a straight stitch all the way around the outside edge, and I'm ready to put on the tags and all of the photos and start with the embellishing. And if I'd been thinking, I would have put my tags on there first so that my stitching would have went over my tags, but I didn't, so it's just going to go on there, just the way that it is. But if you are recreating this and you want to do something similar, I would suggest putting those on before you do your stitching. Okay, so I matted my photos with some pink, And one thing that I'm going to do a little bit different is the photos are lined up straight, but I want to offset mine just a little bit, I think, just for some added interest, because I'm not sure where she has all of the journaling strips. Pull this back in here. There's all these little journaling strips. I don't know if I'm going to have those on here or not, because I had planned on just writing my journaling on here. I probably won't have a whole lot to say. Okay, I'm not really liking that green right with that pink. I'll pick this up and move it down. It was just too much of a sharp contrast there. My eye was really being drawn in there. Okay. I'd really like to cover that up. Okay, I will quit nitpicking. Okay, and then I have my butterflies that I showed earlier, and I did this one. I thought this was kind of cute. I put the twine through my tags, and then I took some twine and took around that and tied so they'd kind of make like antennas. So I'm thinking that I kind of like that, so I think I'll do that on the other two. But back to the journaling, I don't really think I'm going to have journaling strips. I did have the back piece of this paper that I've matted my photos, had all of these little sayings on it, and this says a little thing called love. And I went ahead and trimmed that out because I thought, well, that might be kind of cute if I do my strip journaling, but we're going to have to wait and see. So let's tie these up. And I just wrapped it around and then just tied a knot at the top. And for my butterflies, I'm going to put the biggest one up here, and I had also thought about cutting these photos down smaller because they look a little bit smaller on the sketch, but I decided to leave this because I wanted that empty space on this photo so that I could put this butterfly right over the top, and then that way it will be connecting the paper, the background, and the photo together. And I will use some foam dots up underneath the wings here. Okay, so I've decided my little punched butterflies, I've tucked them in here. I don't have adhesive in there, but I'm going to add some adhesive. I went through my thickers and I decided on these green ones. I was looking for kind of a pink raspberry color because I thought that would be really cute and it would really pull out her overalls in the photos. But I loved this font because it had kind of the feeling of playing dress up, and you know, she's playing with makeup and hair rollers and all of that in her little deal. So I just felt like that was really a nice touch to what the journaling is going to be about. Then I have these little stickers here, and I have this one that says play, and I decided I went ahead and inked it up, but I'm going to go ahead and put it, I thought about putting it here, but there's really not quite enough space, so I think I'm going to split this title up, and I'm just going to tuck it where it touches the tag, the photo, and that, and then it will go into there. And then I have my smaller butterflies that I need to get attached. Whoops. Okay, so I'm ready to put my date, my journaling, and on the sketch it had this little tag sticking out here, and so I also have from the Red Raspberry collection this one, and I think, well, I'm going to add the date to this and just poke it up next to that picture. Coming up underneath. And that will repeat some of my green up there, and it will also draw your eye into her face because this is what I want to really bring up. Okay, so I've added my journaling on my tags. I went ahead and stuck this little word strip here, got my date, and I'm ready to just finish it off with me enamel dots. So I've chosen some of these raspberry colored ones because I did want to pull more in of that color. Alright, and I think that finishes up. Thanks so much for joining me, and be sure to join us at Creative Scrappers and in conjunction with Jillibean Soup for your chance to win some Jillibean Soup product. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.